What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you're new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Happy Monday, June 16th. Before we hop onto the charts, make sure you read what's on the screen. Trading's risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do here or anywhere else is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. I'm just an idiot on YouTube yapping for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research, make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like RDF, Top 1 Futures, Bookmap, and others. Let's jump on to the chart, see what we got rolling on here this morning. Starting to push the highs right now. Oh, no, that's just my big face. Let's not do that. Hang on one second, guys. Get my chart pulled up here on Project X with Top 1 Futures. There we go. We have a 7-pack. A 7-pack of 150K instant funded accounts being copy traded here on the Project X platform. We got over $1 million in sim capital that we're going to keep trying to run it up. Been on a win streak with these guys so far. It's been pretty fun to get to trading these bad boys with you guys. So we're going to see if we can't keep that going. I don't expect to have a 100% win rate or anything close to it, so you'll probably see a couple L's coming up. But we're gonna go in it with a positive mindset, right? Nice and confident, and put our trades on as they come. So, what's up, Wolf? What's up, Ralph? What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's take a look at this daily candle, man. Let's take a look at the daily chart. If you guys know me, you've been on before. I trade the 1 minute here on ES primarily. What's up, Andrew? I trade the low time frames utilizing basic price action, market structure, volume, and a little bit of order flow. Really looking at everything from a pattern recognition, technical standpoint. Really like a very dumb guy approach to it. That's my coined term. The dumb guy approach, right? I've seen this happen before, so I'm going to find a good way to structure risk and trade that. But I like to start on the daily. It's way high time frame, right? It's really like not as relevant to the 1 minute. I think, I would agree with most people that say that. But I do like to look at price action. I like to look at structure. I like to look at what's going on in the daily. It just gives me a good frame of, what the heck we're doing with this daily candle. So as you can see what we got overnight, we really got a no wick to the downside. Oh, excuse me, we do have a wick to the downside, but very small wick to the downside. And opening up right now, pushing the highs for the overnight session. So we're starting to form a big bullish candle here. Really maintaining this uptrend structure that we've seen since the beginning of April, where we finished that gnarly sell-off on tariffs, geopolitics. We had quite a bit of war turmoil affecting these markets over the past week. But here we are on the new contract, which is also important to note. It's rollover. That adds to a bunch of wildness typically. New contract, the September contract. We are on ESU 25. Project X rolls it automatically. Other brokers, platforms do not. So, make sure that you are looking to make sure you're on the correct contract today. So here we are pushing the upside. Yeah, big bullish candle, man. Is this all we're going to do? Big wick down to this level. I said that at the end of last week. Like, is this all we're going to need to do here? Friday the 13th, wick down, sweep these lows, and now, pull back up and get ready to take off to the moon. We are not very far off of all-time highs. Again, that's just some high time frame speculation, but I could see this, coming back down, retest VWAP, kind of, chill out for a moment before maybe coming back up to test these highs. But right now, it looks strong out of the gate, and we're really erasing some of the selling pressure that we saw. So that we saw through the end of last week. Here's the open, right? Sunday night open, really strong, just trending above VWAP, holding above VWAP, showing a lot of strength, pushing to the upside, coming into the open. So as always, not going to look to do anything too crazy. 9:38 a.m. Eastern. I wouldn't mind a long on this if we came back down towards VWAP, swept some lows, maybe came back down, back in towards the 65s, 70s. I really wouldn't mind that to the upside. I would take it as far down as like the 50s, sweep below VWAP, and then for a continuation to the upside. But this is looking really strong right out of the gate. I don't know that we get that. So this one's going to be interesting. Just going to take a look at the 15-minute. I've got some zones from last week. Yeah, we pushed the highs. This prior day high level, which is now up at, yeah, like the 6100s. We start to push this to the upside. This could turn into some real bullish structure if we come all the way up there. Obviously, the way that I trade, I'd be looking to fade it first. I'd probably be looking for a short past this level near the prior day high level up into the 95s. I wouldn't mind that to try first. Liquidity up. Yeah, we got a lot up at the 6100s. I'm looking at the new contract on bookmap as well. Sometimes it looks a little funky, especially when it just rolls over. Like a lot of algos up until 9:15, and it looks like those got clipped right off. I could show you that later. Bookmap's my favorite order flow tool, so we'll take a look at that. But yeah, this is interesting, guys. So again, just watching the open, kind of getting comfortable, articulating what I'm looking at on the chart, starting to frame some potential trade ideas. I'm going to let this open up. I don't have a hard idea one way or the other just yet. 10 minutes into the open. I could see us grabbing the 85s. Jumping back down to the 1 minute here, zooming out so my VWAP resets. I could see us grabbing the 85s where we have some liquidity, like just right up here above price, and then maybe a rejection back down. Let's take a look at what this looks like here. Yeah, not too much volatility just yet. Really not that volatile just yet. Yeah, we pull back down. Here's my thought process on this. Just kind of just looking at this structure. Very bullish overnight, right? Bullish into the open. Much higher time frame bullish. Medium time frame, we kind of were selling off last week. Yeah, here we go. Continuing to push highs, trading out these 60-80s right now. I don't know that I would jump right in front of this off the 85s. We have liquidity here, but it's not like a really clean level of structure. It's up above this from Friday, right? And that was a meaningful high put in here in the NYSE session. The high that I coming off of prior day high from the daily candle is all the way back off here, at the open. So I wouldn't mind trying something up here. Like, this isn't terrible. I don't love it because we do have that level up here that coincides with all of this. We might want to come up and grab that 6100. But we have liquidity about 100 on the book at 85. And then we got another 111 up here at the 100. So, it's just tough to take a short here, stop loss before this level to say, I think this is going to be the reversion, and then have it come up here. And I would really like to short it again to come back down. So I'm going to watch what happens right here. I could be tempted in a short initially if we continue to push. I don't know that we don't just revert from here right now. I could be tempted in a short. Nothing crazy. Not like I think we're going to sell off all day, but just back to a potential area of high volume, back towards VWAP, back towards sweeping this, session low. Nothing crazy there. Yeah, this isn't too volatile. Nothing crazy there for a trade, but I could see that. The 85s for a short would give me, yeah, the stop would be like right up there, man. That's just a dicey one. I don't know. I might do a half risk on something like that, wider stop even potentially, because I would like to short it up here if we pop up that high again, just for the quick reaction. Conversely, if we sell off, come down and sweep these lows, we crack back down like through the 65s. And then we find some buyers around VWAP. I'm going to look long. I'm definitely going to look long on this. Again, same kind of reversion trade. One would be counter to this initial trade, this initial trend, right, which would be the short. One would be more in favor of the trend, looking to buy on a pullback long. Yeah, we might do that right here. So I would be looking long. If we bounced off of around this VWAP, the 60s to the 65s, around this level, sweeping this session, I would be looking for a continuation type of a deal. I wouldn't be taking it really aggressively here. If we sold all the way off down towards the 50s, I would look to take it aggressively down there. That would be really far down. Yeah, that would be really far off price. I don't know about that. Let me slow myself down. I would want to see what happens as we come down, through the potential 70s, 60s, towards this level here. We sold all the way off aggressively down here. That would be some interesting price action that would have to get us down here. So let's see what we get. The longs would be secondary. We'd have to have some movement happen first. So let's look at these shorts first. That's my play. That's my play. Good morning. Good morning. Initial chop fest. Luke tried the new account. Tried to trade the new contract this morning. It couldn't even fill me. Multiple points past my. Ooh, yeah. Again, so rollover, guys. Rollover, right? Reason for caution, right? We have volume coming over from the current contract that we were trading on to the new contract, right? Got to be cautious of that for sure. Once again, long wicks. Some folks still on the other contract as it officially rolls on Friday. Yep. A couple of larger contracts on the tape. Yep. Good morning. Trading on session VWAP. Yeah. For me, again, the way that I just look at it and the way that I was, learned and information is once we start to have volume and open interest on the new contract, that's your signal to get on that new one. It's pretty set up for us here because we don't even have an option. Project X, with these firms that are trading on Project X, it automatically rolls, just puts you on whatever contract they want you on. Usually, if I remember correct, like Tradeovate, I think others. Yeah, here we go up into the 80s. Tradeovate, others would give you like a heads up, like, hey, your contract's rolling. More volume is trading on this one or whatever the parameters were. That type of deal. Got my 25 account last night. Already made 384. Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Awesome. Yeah, man. Watching this push to the upside. Interesting. But yeah, sweet, man. Top 1 futures account. I'm assuming. Rich Boy Trades. Watching this come up into the 80s. What do we want to do up here? What do we want to do? I'm interested. I might have to test this bad boy. It's Monday morning. It's early. It's 9:46 a.m. I'll probably hit this with one contract, keeping it light. If it does come up that high. Let's see what we get. Get warmed up on this nice Monday. Yes, using your codes. Oh, hey, bro, I appreciate you. That's awesome. Yeah, guys, for those of you that don't know, link is pinned to the top. We're looking at top 1 futures, straight to funded Sim Pro. These are the new accounts out of them, but I've been trading these guys for a while now. If you want to check them out, let me share this tab real quick. Link is in the chat. 55% off right now across the board. You got 48 hours left on this one. This is going away on Wednesday, I think, end of day on Wednesday. You could check out the new accounts. You could check out the original instant funded accounts. You could check out the current regular challenge accounts. You could check none of them out, right? And important for me to note that I'm biased, I'm affiliated, I'm partnered, I stand to make money. It's important for me to be transparent about that. Very, very simple. But if you want to check this out, I'm super bullish on these guys. Obviously, I'm sitting here hanging out, trading with you. The new straight to funded Sim Pro, if you can handle an intraday trailing drawdown, you want to work with the ESS score, you want to leverage a whole lot of copy traded accounts, this might be a sweet option for you. You just want an instant funded with a regular 20% consistency, nice flexible end of day trailing drawdown. The straight to funded, instant funded, normal ones might be a better option for you. You want a challenge account that's very cheap. They got those as well. Top 1 futures, check them out. Link is in the chat. Link is pinned to the top of the chat, I should say. The 18th, yeah, that is, today's the 16th, yeah, so Wednesday. That deal's up on Wednesday, guys. And it's, not only is it the deal that's up, they're changing it up, right? So this was a promotional, a whole bunch of add-ons. I don't think they're going to allow you to copy trade 7. I think they're going to reduce that. The announcement talked about this entire straight to sim funded, like the new accounts that they rolled out, this whole program is promotional, right? And they may just absolutely pause the whole thing. I think that's their game plan. The instant funded, normal stuff, nothing changing there. The challenge accounts, nothing changing there. At least for now, right? At least for now. I'm not going to stick my neck out and say nothing will ever change because I don't want to do that. 60 80s, yeah, coming up 60 80s. But outside of that, as we're watching this kind of drift to the upside here, got a dope week coming up, man. It's a short week for me. Ooh, we have some news. There it is, trading right through the 85s. Hang on one second. No, we don't have any news. I thought we might have 10 a.m. news, but it's not 10 a.m. Wow. So we got some volatility to the upside. We cracked right through the 85s, filled liquidity there. Not going to jump in front of this. I think we're going to get a rejection here unless we take off all the way to the 100s, in which case I'm going to look to short it up here. I think we reject here, just gun to my head, pure speculation. The way that cracked real quick, the volume behind it, and then the immediate starting to sell back off with sellers stepping right back in. I think we turn from right back here, but I'm going to wait to see if we pop up to the 100s. Obviously something, coming in. Could be just rollover stuff happening, big things getting moved around. Again, we're also trading a headline market here. If that is something that we're going to know about, whoever's got financial juice or squawk pulled up, you could probably tell me what that was. But I'm just going to watch it from the chart perspective anyway. So let's see. We reject from here. It's really not going to give me a clean setup on a short. That's aggressive to jump right in front of. Yeah, 10-point stop would put me below prior day high, all the way up to the 6100s here. I could see a rejection coming from this, but I'm not going to dive in front of that. That was a immediate high volume, highest volume we've seen traded. Crack right up, split second. So let's see what we get here. Yeah, I mean, gun to my head, this just feels like a rejection where we just didn't continue through. I could see sellers, just sell orders jumped right back in after that crack to the upside. It's really not my play at all to get right involved on like quick volatility, right? I'm not. I'll trade with momentum, I'll trade with volume, but that's like not really my play. As soon as we have a huge bullish candle print on a lot of volume, to immediately short it or immediately long it, like that's not what I wait for. We had the 85s get hit. I was watching liquidity up at this level. I said I might test it here. With a one contract, but I'm not. I'm going to wait to see what happens. I don't like the way that we jumped right into that. We could see another really aggressive jump. Again, I'm totally cool taking an L, shorting it up here off the 6100s. We break that to the upside and we just continue and we like run the highs. I think we're taking off. I think we could be taking off for a big bullish day to start this week. But not just yet. Not just yet. So aggressive, no pullback to VWAP. I like to trade towards a reversion before we do anything. That's still definitely in play here. So let's see what happens. If we turn back down from here now, after like trying this area again, maybe I could take it as we start to come back down through lows to get down below these, back down towards VWAP. But here we are pushing back up to the upside, trading the 87s and a half. Let's see what we get out of this. Market's starting to move. Waking up on a Monday. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Can you explain how you use volume profile and VWAP? Yes. Good morning. Go Bears. Yeah, so volume profile and VWAP. Volume profile, to me, just gives me areas of high volume on the chart, obviously, right? How I use that in my trading? Well, I find it to be nice, solid areas of interest. I think we're likely to return back to do business at these areas of high volume. Same with VWAP, volume-weighted average price. It does give you a little bit of who's in control, buyers or sellers, right? Based on when it's anchored. A little bit of a directional bias, but also a dynamic level on the chart. So I use them in a kind of dynamic way. Primarily for me, I'm watching price action and market structure. And then I'm creating areas on my chart. Oh man, hang on. I'm going to come back to this. Areas on my chart based on that price action, market structure, volume, and order flow. Trying to pay attention, guys, as we crack to this level. Yeah, this could be aggressive to step in front of. Not going to be a 2 contract short, but we're going to take a look at this short up here. That's my game plan. Waiting for the 6100s where we have 150 on the book up here. I would test it. I would test it up here if we can do it. Call me crazy, chat, but I'm looking at this bad boy short on one more pop up towards the 6100s. We don't get it. I'm waiting just like I have waited all week, and it's played out very nicely for, not all week, all of last week. It's played out very nicely for me being patient. Anytime I've been not patient, and I have not been patient off this live, it's just been L's. I just continue to take, the areas hit that I would like to wait for, right? So I will wait patiently on the 6100s. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not going to jump directly in. As we crack above it, I might look to do it or start to reject up there. But I could still see this coming back down towards the 75s, even lower, the 65s where VWAP is. But we might not do that. We might just rip my face off to the upside. This is looking strong. I don't know that you would have found a way in long on this bad boy. Maybe you longed it right out of consolidation, but we haven't even gotten a pullback. So this could be a little bit dicey for everybody, whether you're looking to long it or short it. But I'm looking long on I'm looking short on a sweep of prior day high and a fill of liquidity up there. Clean level for me. I'm cool to take an L if I have to. Getting short on this first, and then taking a look at what happens after that. But I'll be running it with 1 contract, which is lighter, about half risk. Why? Because this is pretty volatile. This is very volatile. Strong push to the upside. I'd like to give myself a second trade if I do have to take this first L, maybe being too aggressive. So for those reasons, I'm going to be dynamic and just be a little bit more cautious. There you go. Sweeping overnight high, but I was looking at you guys in the chat. Yeah, I'm reading it as well. Iran signals it wants to de-escalate with Israel. What does that say? Can we get market moving information here? Is that old? Yeah, no, that's what's coming, breaking. Yep. Yeah, again, guys, I don't, here we go, up into the 6100s. Let's see if we can do it. I don't trade fundamentals that way. I don't have squawk. I don't think I'll ever be fast enough, and I think price is just going to tell me what's, what the market participants and just what it's doing, what it wants to do first. So that's the way that I look at this. All right, here we go. Getting ready to try it. I'm going to look to dive in on a short on this bad boy. If we can crack these 6100s, nice big round psychological number too. We might just come up and tickle it here. Prior day high. Ooh, man, do I have to? I have to wait. It's a tight one. Let's see. Yeah, I think we got enough buyers to go and fill this. If not, I'm cool. I want a very aggressive entry, like aggressive meaning I'm waiting for, the more and more pops to come in before shorting it. And we got it all the way up to the 6100. We're pretty quiet after that, looking at the DOM. 10s have a little bit now. I think they'll continue to stack just small orders up above price, but did we get the reaction right here after prior day high all the way up? Try not to zoom out too much and miss this. Yeah, I'd love it off the 6100s because I'd get a stop way up here, and I'd be so dead wrong if we just continued all the way up above these highs. But here we are starting to reject, trading back down to the 94s. Let's see. Again, looking at this short, guys. I'm not jumping in here. We got 200 orders in the book right at the 100s. We came very, very close to that level. Sometimes front running them can be a play, but that was an aggressive pops to the upside. I looked at that definitely going to fill the 100s, potentially crack above. Just a little bit more of a sweep than like 1 point above prior day high. But here we are starting to sell off. Let's see what we get. we got movement, and this could be really aggressive, right? We could really start to move. Obviously, information's coming in. The conflict is comments, and what's going on with that conflict is driving this market all over the place. So, it's definitely a reason for concern to be cautious. Nothing wrong with saying I'm not jumping in around all this craziness. Totally respect that. Yeah, this would be clean. If we turn and sell off from here, I'm not in on it. Yeah, here's what I'm waiting for. If we get one more crack up, here we go. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna try these 100s. Let's see. Come on. Come on. We popped those orders here. I'm jumping in short. Again, guys, it's aggressive. We could print a huge candle here and just rip my face off. But this is what I'm looking at as an initial trade. Let's see. There we go. Coming off now. Now there's nothing up there.
Order filled.
I'm trying it from up here, guys. Again, fairly low risk. I'm only gonna risk 500 on this. I could see this potentially just really continuing to crack to the upside. We came right up to the 100s, either filled or some of that looked like it started to come off the book pretty quickly. See if we can get a rejection here off of this level. I'll manage it pretty tightly if we start to sell off down through these lows, the same way that I've been trailing, stop into profit. If I got to take a $500 L on that, I'm cool with that. I'll give myself a second trade. Again, aggressive, right? We are pushing above VWAP, similar to a lot of the trades that you see me take, week over week. We're pushing above VWAP, no pullbacks yet, showing a lot of strength on whatever kind of underlying news that is. But I'm waited for this level patiently. Didn't take it here. Didn't take it over here off the 85s. Waited for the 6100s to get filled, get traded out, and looking for a reversion there. A little bit of room if we got to come and test up the 05s, the 06s, get like one more pop. Maybe I survive it. If we push through this level, start to trade towards the 10s, I just think I'm wrong. I just don't think that we're getting a rejection off a prior day high and these 6100s. So I like it. Clean way to structure risk. Not giving it a ton of room. Again, I've been really just working with a 10-point stop here in ES on the minis. It's big size, so I'm not going to have a whole bunch of room to run 20, 30-point stops. So let's see what we get. I am short 1 from 60.97 and 3/4. Stop at 61.07 and 3/4. Arbitrary take profit down here. This, again, like I talk about, I wouldn't hold to this. This is just if we decided to just rip everybody's face off to the downside. Trump says something crazy happens. We start selling off. I get taken out without way overdoing what I would like to do for daily profit in any of these accounts. So, but I would see this. I could see this potentially returning down towards VWAP, returning down towards the 80s. Before that, just to sweep even below these lows would give me a way to structure risk, right? We'd be, 6.5 points in profit. That's plenty for me to start dragging down below price. Even if we're going to pop from here, I could see that happening. So I'm good with this one. And like I said, comfortable with the risk, right? If you're going to put a trade on, I can't stress this stuff enough. If you're going to put a trade on, be comfortable taking a stop loss. If you're not comfortable with whatever that number says, plus a little bit in case you get slipped, don't put the trade on, right? It's either not a good trade, you're not comfortable with the risk management, whatever the reason is. But don't put trades on that you're not comfortable taking L's on and saying, good game, good game market, right? So that's the play. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do, chat. Get warmed up on a Monday here. See what you guys say. We talked about Spike Dart for news. I'm going to try not to take too much attention off of it. Looking short under 22,120, but keeps grinding higher, still unclear. NQ on NQ, by the way. What's up? What's going on, guys? What is happening? What is happening? Yeah, we got more and more at 6100s. Didn't get the really harsh rejection that I would have liked after that candle there. But like on, what was it, Wednesday of last week? You know, stick to my guns, right? I just clipped that video up where I drifted like around my entry and a little bit higher over halfway to my stop for like 45 minutes. Then we finally sold off and grabbed a W on it. So you got to be patient. For me, no trade management, nothing until we start to sell off into profit. And then stop loss gets dragged. We come up here, no problem. No cutting the trade short or doing anything, adding, removing, none of that stuff. It's just an L. That's the way that I'm managing these bad boys. Yeah, looks like we want to try the 6100s again. I'd be really cool if we just cracked this and we got some nice rejection, but we could really blast up quickly if we start to break above this. If we start to break above this bad boy. But you guys know the drill. We've got a bunch of people on here, man. Smash like if you find this valuable. Maybe you watch me take a W. Maybe you watch me get my face ripped off. If you find that helpful, if you find that helpful, hit the like button, man. Help me out. Well, you don't have to do anything. I don't like to tell anybody to do anything. Free means free. You can hang out on here free all day, every day, and not do that. Give me try dad view. Third, I don't know what that means. Somebody commented something. I have no idea what that means. And if you want to hop in the free Discord while we're hanging out, 100% free Discord. So I'm sure a bunch of you guys are from the free Discord. I usually get the team in there. We had somebody mouthing off last night. We had to give somebody the boot this morning. That happens, right? Here we go. But 100% free trading Discord. Ooh, there we go. All right. Can we continue this little movement? Or are we going to come right back up on us here? That's not enough. That's not enough for me to move it just yet. That's really not enough. These are accounts with intraday trailing drawdowns, so this is where it starts to get dicey. These are the new straight to funded Sim Pro accounts. They do have an intraday trailing drawdown. So as that just moved 3.25 points into profit, which is not a lot, but a couple $100 into profit, that max loss limit trails up with me, right? So now if I come to take this L, which I will have to if it comes back up, my max loss limit has trailed up with me right there, right? And now I'm still taking a $500 loss. So it is tricky with these accounts. These intraday trailing drawdowns. Like I've said, I haven't traded any accounts with intraday trailing drawdown, haven't traded any with the ESS rule. I'm not super confident on how this is going to work out for me, but we're going to have some fun. We're going to learn here. We're going to learn here on these. Going to have fun trading prop firms. I am also loading up the personal cash account in the futures market. I do have live accounts in other markets with here we go. Got other accounts in live personal cash, but not specifically with a futures broker and platform that I've worked with so far. So excited to be doing that. And here we'll be copy trading a whole bunch of accounts and having fun with prop firms. Seeing if we can't work towards a nice big fat $25,000 payout. Don't know. Don't know if we can make that happen on round one. It'd be pretty cool, but I'm not gonna say that. Gonna have to learn how these move. All right, so let's see. Again, guys, I know you were talking in the chat. I try to focus up as we start moving. Why, if we aggressively start to dip down, I got to aggressively trail this. It's one of the reasons that I would like to see. Here we go. Yeah, guys, I'm going to I'm going to at least go break even on this. We got to come back up. I'm going break even on this. This is now just moving a little bit too far into profit for me to be comfortable leaving. That stop all the way up there. We start to sell off again here. I'm going to trail this even further, but I'm stopped to break even plus a tick. I want to see this continue right here, right now. I think we can. And maybe if I wasn't in this straight to fund it, not maybe, if I wasn't in the Sim Pro account, I'm leaving that stop loss until we come down and crack this low. Over 6 ticks, 6 points into profit, more than halfway to at least a 1-to-1, but not on these accounts, right? Not on these with this intraday trailing. There we go. There we go. We got some selling pressure there. I'm going to go right behind this candle here. Trailing really aggressively behind price. That's some selling pressure coming in. The 6100s still have a lot on the book up here. Let's see if I get tagged out on this one. I want to see this dump, right? Sellers are trying to take it lower. I want to see this thing continue lower aggressively right here, right now, or I want to be stopped for my little 75 bucks in profit. Yep, so I got entry at 60.97 3/4. Stop is at 60.96 1/4 on one ES mini here. Starting to try to dip lower, but not really selling off in the aggressive way that I would like. Let's see. We come down and break this low. That's going to be pretty cool, and I'm going to trail really aggressively behind price. Getting ready to trail. I'd love some tools to automate what I'm doing right here. The trailing stop loss thing is interesting, but that's not exactly it. The auto break even plus or minus a certain amount is what I would like to do. Nope, looks like we're going to come back up and maybe grab a stop.
Order filled.
There we go. Stop trailing into profit on this one. We'll see if this thing continues to sell off. Again, I'm managing it really aggressively. Trailing stop into break even. Trailing stop into profit. 72 bucks around a break even. That's pretty much just a break even, right? Across 7 accounts, that is some profit. That is 500 bucks in profit. But on any one account, that's about a break even. So let's see where we go from here. Again, right back up. We do have liquidity right here, and I'm cautious that we just pull back. I mean, I'm fading a pretty solid uptrend. So on these trades, I want to see an aggressive reaction off my level. Solid entry, right? We did start to sell off more than we had at any point this morning, right off of that level. So I can't complain about my entry. Can't complain about picking a spot that we pull back 6 3/4 points. But here we go to break the highs. So right about now, if I wasn't out of that, I wouldn't be too happy. And again, the difficult piece with these accounts that I'm happy to acknowledge is that we have an intraday trailing drawdown, not to repeat myself too many times. Meaning that even if I don't close the trade and it comes back on me, that max loss limit trailed all the way into profit. So you got to be really cautious allowing trades to move in profit and then come back on you, because it will eat away at that max loss limit and you won't realize a lot of losses, but all of a sudden that max loss limit is way tight on you, and you can end up losing accounts. So 72.20 across 7 accounts. Let's see what we get on another potential movement up here. I want to see what happens as we come up above. Do we come and fill farther than these 6100s, or is this going to be it again? We reject really harshly down. I would consider trying it for a continuation. I'd consider trying it to the downside again. If we came back down through these lows, we had yeah, we had more orders on the book up here. Another almost 100, looked like 90 something that just filled. Here we go to test the highs again. Let's see. Yeah, this looks like we want to push it long, so I don't know that I want to be short on this. Let's see. Let's see what we get. A little small break even, a little small green to start the week. Nothing wrong with that. Get warmed up. What's the max I should make a day to be safe? So, Rich Boy Trades. If you're trading with an instant funded, depending on whether it's the standard one or the straight to sim funded pro, you either have a consistency rule of 20% or an ESS rule. I have detailed videos on both of them. But what you want to do is do the math and decide on the front end exactly how much the max you want to make per day and the max you want to lose per day. Important to do that. So I would watch both those videos, man. And then if you have questions, hit me in Discord. Happy to help out. Everybody else, hop in the free Discord. Like I was talking about, we had to get somebody out of there that went on some crazy hate speech, racist, sexist tyrant last night. Apologize for everybody in there, but zero tolerance for any of that here on any of my socials or anywhere else. That is ridiculous. I don't want to ever hear it be excused as troll culture and internet. I don't care about any of that, man. So always please hit me up, tag me if you're in any of my stuff, then you see any of that. I will get rid of it immediately. I think the person used to hop in here as well, so not gonna be allowing any of that. We have fun, right? Have fun, but keep it clean, keep it respectful. There's no need for that crap. So we talked about that. Long off MNQ, long off the open, took profit, got shook out of my runner before this big push. Gotta let that runner run. Gotta let that runner run, man. Yes, just trying. Good morning. Tried 22, 160, got stopped in the turnaround, was break even, but order flow made me lose. Scott. Better than get my face ripped off. I'll wait till the afternoon. Yeah, be careful. Yeah, no, this is dicey, guys. Again, we got information coming out. We got headlines. Good morning, Andrew. What's up? We got headlines coming out. You know, this is a little sketchy up here. It's a little sketchy up here. That was my first short. If you guys missed it and just hopped on, tried it. It did move into profit. Can't be mad about entering off of a level that we do get some reaction off of. But I don't know. I don't know that we continue. I was trailed out in profit, trailing aggressively. I could see this coming back down to the 90s. I still think we're going to get some kind of rejection up here. But that was it. That was the trade. I don't take the exact same one again. What I could see potentially, we start to sell off, right? We dance around here off this same level. We don't just continue to push. A short play like on the way back down here wouldn't be terrible, right? You know, we would have some more data indicating we do want to return. And I could see something like that playing out if we don't do this, right? Not short up here now that we're back all the way up here, but short way down here with a stop above highs. I could see something like that. Long, I just don't have a continuation play. I'm not taking these trades that way in ES. So absolutely, send it. No test of VWAP, no test of other area. Really bullish. You say, hey, dude, we're just going to continue breaking to the upside. You do your thing. Stop below low here, stop below lows here, whatever. Run it to the upside. Could absolutely see that, but that's not my setup. Not my setup. Executed the one trade that I had so far. Could have got a little bit better entry on that and maybe grabbed a little bit more profit, couple $100, but that's probably the only critique I would have for myself, just jumping in a little bit more aggressively up here. But I don't know that I want to fade that again. Don't think that I do. Here we go, pushing highs. Let's see. We get a blast off. We're gonna have to see. There we go. Got some volatility coming in. that is looking it's looking interesting. Do we reject really harshly up here, or do we take off? This is interesting. Yeah, guys, I really don't have a setup on this. I'm just kind of hanging out, reading some messages, checking if we got anything crazy going on. Yeah, one of the other things that is that's an interesting dynamic here with these, Ryan, 100 points and done. Very nice, Ryan. Very nice. One of the interesting dynamics here with the new straight to funded Sim Pro, any of them, you have a minimum profitable days. So kind of like a Top Step $200 minimum profitable day, you have a 0.1% 7 days that you have to make. So in the 150K, you've got you got to make $150 7 days, 7 days before you can request a payout, regardless if you hit the consistency rule, all that fun stuff, the ESS. So it is nice to clock those and then just, if you don't find anything, be done. But I try not to let that stuff play too heavily into my trading decisions, right? Because if you adjust everything so crazy, as I've done in the past, I did it with Top Step, and you all of a sudden, you're cutting really good trades early just to try to make $200. And then all of a sudden you make $200 for 3 days and you could have made $1,000 or more each day. And then you take a full loss and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have adjusted so much. But they are interesting rules that, you don't have to deal with in some other accounts that can be, you got to pay attention to, right? Because you have to follow them. But it's a balance. It's a balance between, I think, over optimizing too much to just follow prop firm rules and not do what's best for actually trading well, and completely disregarding them and running yourself into problems. So it's a note for sure. Any entries today, Zach? Been climbing, no pullbacks. Yeah. So I got short once on this up here. Caught this area off of the 100s for a pullback down. We obviously didn't continue. Trailed out in profit. I start almost every one of these sessions with a fresh account. I've done it in the past where I've had something in there from pre-market or overnight, but it's pretty rare. But on one short, one near break even stop on these. Yeah, no entry to the upside, one entry to the downside. Now I'm not going to fade this again. This is showing way too much strength. I don't have a level above price, right? Looking left, that was my area. You could have said, hey, wait until we get up here. All of these highs in this area for a reversion, and we might get that, right? Now we might just revert to prior day high, and you could have an entry and something that's profitable just on the way back down here, maybe back down here like I was looking for. But I'm not going to jump in front of this again. I already did it once. I'm not going to do that again. It's not my level up here. 6100s were it. We'll see, right? If I left this trade on completely, I had a stop up here at 7 1/4, I think, or 7 3/4. We'll see what this would look like if I had just left the entire trade alone, not trailed at all. Maybe take some heat and then it moves all the way back down. But this is showing a lot of strength now, right? A lot of strength now. Looking at this on the daily, that's a big boy. That's a big boy candle. Now we're up near the highs, right? You can see this level really clean outside of that wick. You can see where this has been tested multiple times as well over here, looking at all these daily candle closures and wicks. Take a look at all of this, right? So not a bad idea if you wanted to aggressively short this and say, hey, I think we're going to pull back to VWAP. It's going to give me a great opportunity. Maybe just chop a little bit. Longing this, I think that would be with the trend, right? With the recent price action, the higher time frame price action. Where do you throw a stop if you want to get long on this, man? I do not know. I think, we could pull all the way back down here, and find buyers off of VWAP and then rip again. So I don't know about getting long on this. I think it's with trend, right? Kind of just flowing with it. Difficult to do, though, for sure. So, yeah, for me, fade it again and throw a 10-point stop, but I don't think I want to try that again. It's not clean. It's not all cleanly off of a level for me and off of something on bookmap. That's my deal. 06 is, just grinding higher, man. If you're in this long, well done. For me, hanging out on this now, I'm gonna watch to see what happens. We start to reject really harshly up here, start to push to the upside really aggressively. Maybe we find something else, but this is the pop right off the open, right? Here's our 9:30 a.m. No real pullback. Maybe you find a way in long as we start to crack overnight high. You take a 15-minute or breakout, and that plays pretty nicely today. But I don't think that I'm going to push it, being a very small win trailed out near a break even. Again, because it's copy traded, it's a lot of profit, but $72 in any one account is going to be around break even. Already locked out, so now I'm here. Austin Silver, what's up? Short it. I'll pay for it. Yeah. I don't know about that. I could see it, right? Like for me, I can't. I'm not getting long on this. Not up here. Again, I don't think there's any way to structure risk in a way that makes sense. I think if you have a stop 15 points below price, it pulls back and then continues. We didn't really break trend or structure or anything to the downside. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe one micro and we have some fun. We start doing that. I used to do that back in the day. Just throw like mini micro trades on. Yeah, what would get me into a short realistically if I had to? Sweeping above these highs, not bad, but I don't think I want to dive in front of this again, man. Maybe like the 10s or the 15s. Like we come way up here. I think we're very far overextended, even though I don't like that term. We got another 100 on the book up at the 15s. Outside of that, there's like nothing. There's like nothing up above that until we go another like 30, 40 points higher. And I don't know that we do that today. So I could see it like if we aggressively pop to the 15s, if I had to find a short, maybe. But right now, yeah, right in front of price, we actually got like 110 on the book. We got some algos getting moved around, but it looks like 110 on the book at like the 06s. 08s, we're looking at like 130, 131 up at the 08s. So I can see that. Austin, long 79 to 97. Look at that. All the buyers since the open couldn't even close under VWAP. Very nice. Austin and the team got long. Very nice, man. 79 to 97. Look at that, man. Beautiful. I'm assuming on that pop up there, rode that bad boy all the way to the upside. Clean, man. Very clean. For those of you that are on here want to check out ASFX taking big W's, click that name in the chat. That's Austin Silver. Runs ASFX TV. A whole bunch of fun stuff. Going back through, stayed up a bit too late. Management. Entered at 9:49. Couldn't have timed it better. Literally laughing on the shoot up right after I got right in. Oh, hell yeah. Awesome, dude. So Austin got long here, 79s. Immediate pop to the upside and then out in a couple minutes right at the 97s. Beautiful, dude. I wish, man, if it could only happen like that every day. If it could really only happen like that every day. In and out in a couple minutes, immediate volatility comes in as soon as you get long. That's nice. And then you get to be, if only, dude. Yeah, and you get to be done and hang out and come and check out everybody else's streams. If only, guys. If only it was that clean every day. Watching this. Yeah, man, coming into Summit 105, 107. Yeah, buyers are just strong here. I really don't know that I'd like to jump in front of this. Probably not. Don't have a way in long at all. So I'm going to hang for a little while longer. It's 10:30. I want to see what happens after initial balance sets here in about 30 seconds. This is going to be our IB high up here. Let's see if we can mark it. Object tree. Let's pull over some IB high and IB low. Get that marked up. We'll see how these, well, these are way over. We'll see how these levels get respected or disrespected. Fighting FOMO been rough this morning. Yeah, yep. If only, dude. Yeah, man. If only it was that easy. If only it was that easy. Yeah, this is tough. Like, I commend guys like Austin that could find a way in on this and not, not fear the pullback and jump in right here. I'm assuming maybe stop loss down here just below session lows or maybe just below this price action. But that's what you got to do if you're looking to trade with the trend, with VWAP, with this movement from pre-market. You got to challenge yourself to find a way in. If you don't, and this is a tough one, right? Pop off the open, like no real pullback, no pullback to VWAP, no sweep of like this initial low. It's tough to do. So again, I think it's badass when guys find their way in. But yeah, if you don't, right, and you wait and you wait and you wait, it gets increasingly more difficult to find a good spot to throw a stop loss and structure risk. So I feel you. If you're fighting FOMO, if you feel like you missed your trade, you missed your move, I think oftentimes it's just better to just chill out, step off the charts, like don't do anything stupid. Oftentimes what happens is you jump in, right? You get stopped out here, and then it starts to pull back up. You jump in late again. You just start taking all these crazy trades, and you already missed the boat, right? You already missed where you should have been in, executing, nice and aggressively. So I would say if you're feeling that like crazy, man, probably lock it up. Use the lockout tool in Project X. If you're on Project X, step away. Just come back into the afternoon, maybe if you trade the afternoon, or just be done for the morning and say, hey, you know what? Nothing here for me now. Maybe there was this morning, but now there's not, and I'm not going to start doing anything crazy, scalping or fading the move. That's not really what I wanted to do anyway. And just chill out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think a lot of these days like this, they get guys, right? They get you because you miss it here, maybe, you get another pop, and then you just start doing crazy stuff. You either start fading it, like completely opposite of what you were thinking, even though you want to trade with the trend, you start trading it way, way late. So just chilling out, waiting for some other setup, some other trade idea, the market to come to you, but don't start FOMOing in or out of anything like this. And especially these days can be hard because the market's moved, right? There was opportunity here to jump in and capture, 20 points of movement, right? Or more. This is a lot of movement to the upside, but it's that not even slow grind. It's just kind of very directional with not a lot of pullbacks. So definitely be cautious. I get you. Yeah, describing my trading style. Don't do the. Listen, guys, as simple as that is, not doing anything stupid is like a huge differentiator and could mean the difference between constantly blowing accounts and taking payouts. Not doing anything dumb because you are fearing missing out. You're fearing not having an opportunity to trade that day. You're greedy, right? You're anxious. You don't want to wait for it. You're being impulsive. All of these would be classified probably under doing something stupid outside of your trading plan, outside of anything that makes sense when it's like actually on the chart. So just if you don't do that, the difference that it can make, speaking from experience, wow, like a lot of difference, right? You avoid these big, huge red blow up days where all you did was stupid stuff. And maybe you have no trade days. You have a small red day. You have a small break even day. And instead, you allow those big green days where you do exactly what you're supposed to do to just carry you, right? So not doing anything stupid, as simple as that is. I think it's very difficult. But man, that's a differentiator. That's a differentiator for sure. So, know what you're looking for. Know what you're looking for. Have a clearly defined game plan coming into the day, right? What does your setup look like? What are you waiting for? You heard me do it all morning, right? I kind of repeat myself. I articulate again and again out loud with you guys, but that's like the thought process that's going on. Here's what I'm waiting for. Here's what I'm waiting for. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's the level. If we do this, I will do this, right? Waiting for the market to come to me. And if I put this trade on, I'll be okay. I'm comfortable with this risk. If I have to take an L, totally cool. I'm not going to freak out. Keep yourself in line. But trading's pretty simple. It's pretty damn simple. Not doing anything stupid, that's the difficult part. That's the real difficult part. If I had a nickel for every stupid... Hey, listen, bro. If I had a nickel for every stupid thing I did trading, I'd be doing pretty well. I have a lot of nickels. I have a whole lot of nickels. Slowly grinding higher. Yeah, again, guys, while we're hanging out, just to plug it again, Top 1 Futures, because we're coming up on the end of a sale here again, Top 1 Futures is 55% off with code RDF. That's better than the email, better than what's on the site, better than any promo. It's the best deal you can get right now. 55% off the new straight to funded accounts. That's what we're showing on here. Let's show the prices. Wild prices on this. We are looking at up to 7 copy traded accounts, different rules. Important to read the rules. Go to the frequently asked questions page, read and understand the rules. You got an ESS score, you got intraday trailing drawdown, minimum days to profit, minimum trading days. These are tough, right? Tough, very aggressive. Objectively, in my opinion, harder than the other ones. But you got some big upside. Ability to copy trade $1 million in sim capital right off the rip with no challenge at all, no evaluation. Lower price point, wider max loss limit, some other things there. I'm biased. I'm partnered and affiliated. I stand to make money. I can't be unbiased. Important for you to go to the site, make your own decisions, right? And me to be transparent about that. You want to check that stuff out. You got 48 hours. This deal is ending on Wednesday. I'll throw the link in the chat. Again, the code is RDF if you want to check it out. Boom, right there. There we go. Starting to get a reaction after sweeping initial balance high. We going to get the failed auction boys coming in to take shorts on this? I bet we do. I bet we do. Yeah, interesting. Outside of that, just on the stream, man, I am here until Wednesday this week. We got a holiday on Thursday. Markets are closed, and I'm off on Friday. But before that, tomorrow and Wednesday, we got 2 new guests coming on the show. Krista, a.k.a. Fit Mom Trades, coming on. And then on Wednesday, B. Frank Trades. He is a live trader with Top 1 Futures. Excited to have him on. Obviously, he's got some juice. That's gonna be a great one. And so is tomorrow with Krista. Gonna be really fun. So here we go, selling off right from IB high. Yeah, it wouldn't have been too bad shorting it and letting somebody else pay for the L. Let's see if we get some continuation here. Headed back down towards the 6100 level. We cracked the area that we had about 182 on the book, right at the 08s. Swept right above that right here and then started to come back down on this pretty aggressively. Interested to see if this continues. Again, we do have some about 100 up at the 6115s. We didn't go and grab that. If we crack IB high, I think that's the next spot that I would be looking for a potential opportunity. But this isn't too bad from down here, honestly. We could start to reject. Let's see. Let's see what the market's got. Nothing but head fakes on NQ. Yeah, NQ not working, not playing nice with you guys either today. This is just strength. It's just a lot of strength to the upside. We start selling off here. Maybe it's a wick down before a reload and continuation of the upside. I'd expect to pull back at some point, but we haven't gotten it just yet. Yeah, I don't know that I get another one on these one, guys. On this, I don't know that I want to fade this again. I don't want to try to pick the top. This was, an initial movement, sweeping prior day high. Really comfortable taking a short off of something like this after a big push to the upside. We don't reject there. We continue higher. We really are just continuing to show strength. I'm sure we pull back at some point, but I don't want to keep trying to fade this. So that's our IB high. Really not looking like we want to hold and close above that. I'm sure we'll get some shorts off of that, back down in towards VWAP, but I don't know that I get another setup on this. I don't think that I do. I think I chill out for a little bit, see what starts to happen here, and then check out my other 3-pack of accounts, see if I can't find a trade for those bad boys. So I'm probably going to, I just can't figure it out. You guys and your AI, you're wild. Yeah, guys, pretty solid rest of the week. Definitely hop in the free Discord, smash subscribe. If you're new here, you want to chat for next time, I'm here live every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, almost every day, right? 100% free. Happy to show you what real trading looks like for me. I don't claim to be the best. Far from it. Don't claim to have all the big payouts and P&Ls and leaderboards and live accounts, none of that stuff. I'm just a regular idiot trying to turn a profit in the market, and I'm happy to show you what that looks like for me free. Hop in the Discord. You want to chat there. Just don't say anything wild or I'm going to kick your ass out very fast. But no, this was a good session. Quick trail out for near break even. Not really what I want to do in these accounts, but again, I got to be just okay with what the market has for me, right? And there wasn't a lot more had. This would have been a stop out, right? Here was my stop up here. If I didn't trail into profit at any point, this would have not given me an option other than to take a full $500 loss. So I'll be grateful that I didn't do that. I'm not going to push it just because I want to make profit and continue to have, green days in these accounts. I'm just going to chill. Although inside, that's the feeling that I'm feeling, right? Like I always think about the emotion, like what's the doing something stupid? Me seeing $72.20 and going, man, like that's not really like where you want to be. It'd be great to put up like 500, $1,000 in these accounts. Like, let's keep this show rolling. That has nothing to do with what the market's doing. That's me trading my P&L and a desire to make money. So not going to do anything crazy. On that note, guys, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing you see or hear from me is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. If you trade, you're probably going to lose all your money. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in a funded prop firm account, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like RDF, Top 1 Futures, Bookmap, and others. Talk to you guys soon. Wrapping up with a break even. See you guys in Discord. See you live tomorrow and Wednesday with guests on the stream. Going to be a fun time. If I see something, maybe I'll, if I see something, say something, like that New York subway deal. If you see something, say something. If I see something, I might say something in Discord. So hop in there and we can chat. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for hopping on. As always, appreciate you guys. See you guys tomorrow, 9:30 a.m.